Shabbat is here, Shabbat is here. I'm so glad that Shabbat is here. Candles burning bright, it's Friday night. I'm so glad that Shabbat is here. Shabbat Shalom, it's Rabbi Barbara with a story for you for Shabbat about the very first Shabbat ever. Now you know there were 6 days where things were created, beautiful things God created in the world. And at the end of the 6th day, God was watching the sunset that was purple, turning to red, turning to pink. And God started to hum a little tune. And the moon and the stars and the sun all started humming. And then all the beautiful beings that God had created started singing along. The cherry trees and the people and the turtles and the mountains and the oceans and the streams all started singing. And God said, "What's next? I've had so much fun creating all these 6 days. It's made me feel so joyful. So what should I do next?" So God invited all the creatures in the world to come and sit in a circle and to help God decide what would be next. God said, "I need your help to figure out what to add to the world. What should I make on day 7? What should I make on day 8? What should I make on day 9? So the hippopotamus grunted, "Whoa, I would like more streams of water with lots of mud in them so I can splash around in it." And then the canary said, "Why don't you create beautiful yellow ribbons in the sky to match my colors?" And the robin redbreast said, "Well, I would like red ribbons in the sky to match my colors." And an oriole said, "How come you don't just make orange ribbons in the sky to match my colors?" And then a toucan said, "Well, I have a good idea. Why don't we make the sky full of red and yellow and orange and green and blue ribbons? And then we'll have all the colors splashed across the sky." And then the woman, who'd been listening very thoughtfully, said, "These all seem like nice ideas, but I want to tell you a story of what happened to me today. I went out in the garden and I picked some luscious red strawberries and some purple grapes and bright green grass. And when I started to squeeze them, some juice came out. And I used that juice to make, God said, "A picture?" And the woman said, "Yes, I took the red and I painted it on a flat gray rock and I made a sun in the sky. And then I took the green and the red and I made a beautiful tree. And I started painting a picture of the garden. And it made me feel like I was making the garden myself. And I kept adding beautiful colors and it was so pretty until I added one more color. And it wasn't pretty anymore. It was ruined. And I sat down and I started to cry because my picture was ruined. And the picture started to cry. And I said, 'Picture, be finished.' And the picture said, 'I was finished, but then you ruined it.' And the woman said, 'Well, I'm done.' And the picture said, 'You figured that out a little bit too late.' So," said the woman, "I learned something really important. Before you add something new, ask yourself, is my picture actually done? And if that's true, then maybe it's time to just stop. Stop and catch your breath. And then maybe later on you can come back and you can make something new. So God said, that's really interesting. And the woman said, God, I'm wondering, maybe the world is finished already. Maybe it doesn't need anything new. Maybe it's time for you to catch your breath and stop creating. And God looked all around the circle and said to the animals, well, so if I stop creating, what should I do on the seventh day? And the man said, maybe you can create not doing. Wow, what a wonderful idea, said God. But something was created just now. The woman created a picture, and then she told a story, and then she taught me some new wisdom. Now, creation is perfect. It really is time to rest. So this day, God declared, is going to be called Rest and Catch Your Breath Day. And that's before God came up with the catchier name, Shabbat. And instead of working, God said, we're all going to gather in a circle, just like we did today. And we will talk about rest, and we'll talk about work. And the moon said, and we'll sing. And the oak tree said, and we'll breathe. And the walrus said, and we'll dance. And so the moon and the sun and the stars and the walrus and the oak tree watched as a bat and a bumblebee started spinning circles and dancing around each other in a beautiful spiral. And then the oak tree said, try it. The walrus said, and the woman and the man said, and God said, So I wish you a happy rest and catch your breath day. And remember, sometimes what we've created is just enough. Shabbat Shalom.